entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey now, gamers, knights, and lovers of fantasy lore. This is Matt Heywood from entertainmentbuddha.com bringing you a video review for the new King's Quest developed by The Odd Gentleman and published by Sierra, which also published the original King's Quest titles that this reimagining is based on. The new King's Quest is broken down into 5 chapters, and the first released on July 28, 2015 for the PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC. The title of this chapter is A Night to Remember, and it introduces players to the world of King's Quest, in particular King Graham, who at this stage of the game is an old and wise king relaying his journey as a young adventurer to his granddaughter Gwendolyn.
Sown into the seams of many hidden adventures. All right, let's get back to the dragon.
The narrative split between the 2 time periods, so in the present, old and sickly King Graham recounts his early adventures before he was king to Gwendolyn, who is full of spunk and eager to hear about every harrowing adventure her grandfather experienced, so she can apply his lessons to her own life's pursuits and become as legendary as the old man she adores. While the game is split between the 2 time periods, nearly all the gameplay and most of the narrative is rooted in the past as players get exposed to one of Graham's first important adventures, which sees him trying to become a knight in the land of Daventry. It should be noted that the decisions you make with young Graham will affect the present timeline too, so there's definitely built-in replayability in the reimagined King's Quest. Through his clumsy nature and crafty intelligence, the teenage Graham enters into a tournament of knights of all sizes and skills, and while his meek physical makeup puts him at a disadvantage, his masterful tongue and penchant for puzzle solving allow him to compete with the likes of the mysterious knight Ashaka or the ultra-cocky Whisper.
Percival Eduardo Ramon Jr., the third, hailing from Modesto. But I'm sure a fan like you knew that. Would you like an autograph?
One of the first thoughts that may come to mind when you boot up King's Quest: A Night to Remember is the game's artistic-looking visuals, which just so happen to all be hand-painted assets that the Odd Gentleman team created and scanned into the game. The presentation screams fantasy fairy tale and is reminiscent of the visual style used in classic Disney cartoons, so it's very easy on the eyes and perfect for a game of this nature, which does rely greatly on presentation and immersion to suck the player in and make them feel like they're living in the game world. The visuals are further bolstered by the game's amazing sound design, which not only features more composed music than a fully fledged AAA title, but some awesome voiceover work by some of Hollywood's most iconic stars, such as Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc Brown. The musical score is perfect and brings each and every scene to life in the same way music is used in a cartoon to complement the action taking place on screen. The stellar voice acting also helps to make the character and world feel alive, which are 2 key ingredients in a story-centric game like King's Quest or Telltale's stable of story-driven titles that have flooded the market the past 5 years. To help Graham win the tournament, players must guide him through a series of puzzles and exploration sequences which make up a majority of King's Quest's gameplay. Some of the puzzles are overtly clear, while others will rack your brain, sometimes in frustration, as you backtrack through the game world to see if you missed a clue along the way that is preventing you from proceeding. Most of the puzzles require objects that you must find in the world, which can be found by speaking to NPCs or searching suspicious areas on the map, which telegraph there's something to look at by having an icon display on screen. Unfortunately, you don't really have a quest log like other fantasy games, so it's hard to keep track of your objectives to see what you may still need to do to progress the game. This leads to unnecessary backtracking and at times, depending on your patience, the dreaded action of giving up and going to Google to look for the answer. I had to look for an answer once, which isn't a major deal, but it did take me out of the King's Quest world, ruining some of the immersion and causing me to get a little frustrated with it until it made me smile again with one of its many well-written puns.
I knew you weren't from around here. Well, you best get going. Nobody likes a late night. Oh!
Most players should expect the first chapter of the new King's Quest to take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to complete, which is about double the time it takes for a typical Telltale Games produced episode. But considering King's Quest chapters cost $5 more, the increased length makes sense and is more than fair for the price. Even if you're new to the King's Quest universe, A Night to Remember is well worth your gaming dollars and time. The vividly colored world is full of memorable characters and dialogue that packs heart and a positive outlook on life. Graham is a lovable, if not super lucky lead character who will motivate you to learn more about his past by playing through the 4 remaining chapters of the new King's Quest. The secondary characters are just as enjoyable, especially the bridge trolls, and there's even an unforeseen emotional moment woven at just the right time to further flesh out Graham's character and why he ultimately became the beloved King Graham. For its charming characters, beautiful visuals, intoxicating musical score, and memorable narrative, King's Quest: A Night to Remember earns a highly respectable Entertainment Buddha 95 out of 100. Make sure to grab your copy today for either the PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, or PC. Thanks for watching. As always, remember to hit up entertainmentbuddha.com each and every day to make yourself a better geek, one post at a time.